So today we're going to go shopping for some GPUs and we're going to see exactly what we can find. Let's jump right into it to probably the easiest one. Let's go right into Microcenter. That's the one where if you have a local one near you, you definitely have a much better chance at actually finding a GPU. Now it's going to be a local brick and mortar store. It's kind of like imagine Best Buy, but Best Buy has like one aisle of PC parts. Imagine that extrapolated towards a massive store with even more stuff than Best Buy would ever have. Varieties of CPUs, cases, water cooling, you name it, and they have it. Very, very cool store. So first, let's go and take a look at computer parts and let's see what graphics cards are actually available. And then we'll see if anything makes sense. All right, so let's see what's actually in stock. At the top of the price list, you see there's a $24.99 Quadro RTX 5000. That's a workstation card, not really what we're looking for. That's why there's 12 in stock. Nobody's buying this. I mean, the people that are have a specific purpose for it, so we'll leave that out of there. But as we go along, we're going to see the first GPU that we see is going to be the Radeon 6900 XT. Now, there's a couple of these, and the most expensive one is an Asus $24.99 for 6900 XT. Now, that's really crazy. That's a very high price. I mean, if you consider $999 as the starting point for AMD 6900 XT, this is exactly 2.5 times that price. And this is not a scalper price. This is a third-party AIB, Asus in this case. This is actually their retail or MSRP price. So nobody's really buying this. I've seen this on the shelves literally for months. As we go down, the 6900 XT continues and it gets a little cheaper. This is now a water-cooled one for $22.99. I mean, that's still extremely expensive, but it is a cool GPU. The Liquid Devils are definitely performing really well and they look pretty awesome. Let's see. RTX 3090 sold out. That's a Nvidia Vision. They list some GPUs that are sold out. If they have it, it'll say like limited availability or how many in stock. Okay, so the ASRock AMD 6900 XT, $19.99, still twice the price that it should be, but it's better than the $24.99 that we saw, above it. Now we have a Power Color 6900 XT, $17.99, limited availability. That's not like it's terrible as the other ones. It's still extremely expensive, and it really shouldn't be this price, but at least the prices are coming down, a decent amount. Now this one's sold out. So now we have for $16.99 another Power Color AMD 6900 XT. $16.99 still very high, but it's getting better. $16.29 a little bit better. Let's see. And then the next GPU is actually going to be a 6800 XT when the price starts to drop. So as we can see, the cheapest GPU for the 6900 XT, $16.29. Now, I think that's still too expensive. I would say maybe the fair price for a third-party AMD 6900 XT, if the shortage wasn't that bad, would be maybe tops like $1,200, maybe $1,300 tops. So $16.29, we're still paying quite a premium for this GPU. Now, the 6800 XT at $1449, same thing. It's supposed to be $650, by the way, the MSRP of the reference card. So you can see how it's way more than twice what it actually should be. Now, they have some limited availability, no surprise there. But for that price, I almost rather put in $200 or $180 and go for the 6900 XT. Even though there really isn't too much between them in terms of performance, 6800 XT is actually very close to a 6900 XT. But at these outrageous prices, we don't really know what to think of it anymore. So let's see the next available. All right, $11.99 for a 6800 XT. That's a little bit more reasonable if that's something you can actually say about this price. Still almost twice the price, $650 to $11.99. Not exactly twice, but almost. But at least it's getting better. At least it's not $14.49. And it is an Asus TUF, which is a pretty good, pretty good brand and pretty good model GPU. Let's see, another Quadro card. Don't care about that. Now, the next tier of GPUs will be, once again, AMD, and that's a 6700 XT for $879. I've seen the 6700 XTs for as much as $950 or almost even $1,000. So $879 still too high, but as we can see, it starts to get a little bit lower, $799. And then the only other Nvidia card is... Actually, they're all sold out. The next one seems to be a 3060 for $504. Remember, this is supposed to be a $329 MSRP card, and this particular MSI Ventus is pretty bare bones as they come. It's not like an MSI Trio or anything like that. But as you can see, there are literally almost no Nvidia cards available. They're pretty much all AMD, all either 6800 XT, 6700 XT, and of course the venerable 6900 XT for a pretty outrageous price. Now, Nvidia really is not here at all. There's no 3070 Ti. There's no 3080 Ti. It's basically all AMD stuff and a couple of MSI and a couple of Nvidia cards rather. Let's see, and then everything else is sort of gets a little bit funny. And then after that, it's all sort of not really that great, like 1660 Ti's and a 1050 Ti for $299. That's really not really that great, and everything else is pretty terrible. So that's going to be Microcenter for you, which is one of the places that certainly will have some of the best stock. Now, what if we go on Amazon and search for graphics card? What do we get? Now, Amazon's even worse. Look at this, a GTX 1660 Ti. We're talking about $679. No way. 6600 XT for $769. That's pretty terrible as well. That's the price you could have gotten pretty much a 6700 XT at Microcenter. And here we have a PNY RTX 3070 for $1,049. Very expensive, twice the price that it should be. 3080. $1,849. All right, so these are basically scalper prices. This isn't really MSRP anymore. Definitely scalper prices, very high. Or what because third-party people can also sell on Amazon. A 2060 for $699, $700. Nope. 3060 for $1,039. That is definitely scalper. That's more than scalper pricing. That's a crazy scalper price. Holy moly. 3060, $824. 3060 Ti, $1049. As we can see, Amazon pretty terrible with pricing. Like, I wouldn't even check here. It's pretty much scalper pricing. You'll probably have better luck with your local friendly neighborhood scalper. So now, let's check another popular place. Let's check Best Buy. Let's see what's going on here. Let's search for graphics cards at Best Buy. Let's see what they have. All right, so it keeps going pretty bad here. We have a $569 Nvidia GTX 1660 Super. This GPU should be considerably cheaper. Like, it really shouldn't be anywhere near this price. That's pretty crazy. Let's see, $799. That's going to get you a 6600 XT. That's pretty terrible. That's the price of a 6700 XT. And then everything seems to be sold out. Let's see, they may possibly have a 6900 XT for $1699. That's going to be an XFX Speedster Merc. Not really the best, and the price is very expensive. So Microcenter had some better options for the 6900 XT, albeit pretty pricey. Everything else pretty sold out. So you can see it's really only a couple of these AMD GPUs that are really overpriced, or really low-end Nvidia cards that are extremely overpriced and really not attractive at all. Let's see if we'll have any better luck on Newegg. Now, Newegg does do the bundles, so sometimes you can get lucky, but generally it ends up being pretty expensive as well. Let's see what we have here. Let's see, a lot of weird GPUs. Let's see, an RTX 3080 Asus TUF 1510. I mean, that's not terrible. I mean, we just saw 3080 for almost $2,000, so that's actually, I'm not going to say reasonable, but it's actually not the most scalper price that I've ever seen. Let's see, everything else, 1660 Ti, $619, stay away from that. 6700 XT, $899, very expensive. Microcenter had them cheaper in the $700 range. Once again, the 2060 comes up, $679, way too expensive. Let's see, this one is a pre-built computer, a 3060 Ti for $1399. Still too expensive, but at least you get a computer with it if you need that. And everything else is kind of crap. Really nothing good. 1650 for $464. So Newegg, not too good at all. So if we have to kind of rank what we've seen, Microcenter, as it was the first one we went to, and it looked like it really didn't have anything too good, but believe it or not, it seemed to have some of the better stock out of all these GPUs, and that was just one Microcenter. Other stores may have a little bit better selection of the Microcenters. And Amazon was terrible, basically scalper pricing. Best Buy as well, very little selection, and the ones that were there, very expensive. And finally, Newegg, that we took a look, very terrible. Really some of the worst pricing and very bad selection of GPUs as well. Nothing that, even if it's overpriced, would be really that great. So it's not only about being overpriced, the GPUs for sale are just not really that good. Even if you wanted to splurge a little bit or you didn't care about paying that scalper price, they're definitely not too good at all. Now, let's look at another option that people maybe sometimes don't check. That's going to be B&H Photo in Manhattan. They often have some GPUs. Let's see, we got a bunch of workstation GPUs. Let's see, a 6900 XT. This is the same one we saw at Best Buy for $16.99. Way too expensive. Radeon Pro 6800. This is going to be a workstation GPU. All of these are kind of crappy GPUs. Workstation. Not too many gaming GPUs at all. And the few that they have, like the 6900 XT, very expensive and quite undesirable. So as you can see, across the board, very difficult to get a GPU from a retail outlet. You would have to start going into eBay or Facebook Marketplace to get a GPU that you want. But remember, you're going to be paying that scalper price. But looking at what's available in stores, maybe that's not such a bad thing in comparison, because in a store, you're going to be paying very high prices. As you see, the MSRP prices in some places are pretty much scalper pricing. And to make it even worse, they're really crappy GPUs. They're not like the cream of the crop. You're not going to get a Kingpin from Best Buy. So if you want a GPU that's actually worth that money, even if you pay extra for it, you're definitely going to have to go in the private marketplace. As you can see, that's why people complain that it's so tough to get a GPU now. Technically you can, but you're going to, overpay for one that's really not all that great. So that's the predicament that people are in now. All right, guys, let me know if you like this type of video going over what's available in the real world. Remember to subscribe, smash that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next video.